Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig through corporate filings so you don't have to. Today we're diving into the recent annual report from XWELL, ticker symbol XW. This report has more twists and turns than the TSA security line. XWELL wants to be your go-to for feeling good while traveling, offering everything from spas to biosurveillance. But can they make it work? We're looking at their finances, the risks they see, and where they're heading, all in plain English. First things first, a little housekeeping. This report is for the year that ended December 31, 2024, so all the numbers we're about to discuss are as of that date. Keep in mind that when we talk about forward-looking statements, those are just educated guesses about the future, and XWELL can't guarantee they'll come true. Let's cut to the chase. There's substantial doubt about XWELL's ability to keep the lights on for the next year without more cash. They need to find new ways to get money because they've been losing money and don't have enough in the bank. This isn't great news because it might cause investors to lose all their money. Here's another potential snag. XWELL has a lot of net operating loss carry forwards, which basically means they have past losses they can use to lower their future tax bill, but there are rules about how much of those losses they can actually use, so they might not get the full benefit. Like many businesses, XWELL is worried about inflation, which could force them to raise prices or cut into their profits. They mention global economic conditions as a possible risk, such as the war in Ukraine or conflicts in the Middle East. If things get worse, they may not be able to grow or even stay afloat. XWELL's biosurveillance work, checking for diseases in airports, is partly funded by the government. If the government cuts spending, XWELL might not get as much money or any at all. The report points out weaknesses in their internal financial controls. One area involves how they handle leases. If these aren't fixed, it could mean mistakes in their financial reports and investors losing trust. Naples Wax Center. If people stop going to locations or they are not constructed properly, they might lose money, adding more pressure to their already strained finances. Airport authorities want them to work with disadvantaged businesses. If XWELL doesn't meet the goals, they could lose business. Time to look at the financial numbers. It says here that XWELL shares of common stock that trade under the XWELL symbol are listed on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC. Let's get into the financials. XWELL's total revenue increased to about $33.9 million, which is a rise of about $3.8 million or 13%. This sounds good, but remember they also bought Naples Wax Center, so some of this increase comes from having another business under their umbrella. Total cost of sales actually decreased, saving the company about $1.5 million. This was mostly because the company decided to close down some locations that weren't doing so well. Depreciation and amortization expenses decreased by over $1 million. They have less things to depreciate because they had to take some assets off the books. The company had to write down the value of some of its assets to reflect that some assets are worth much less than previously thought. General and administrative expenses decreased slightly. Salaries and benefits expense is down. They made significantly less money on investments. Other expenses are down, saving the company some money. XWELL has significant net operating losses, which could help reduce their taxes in the future, but there are limits on how they can use these losses. This is a major red flag. The amount of cash the company used to keep the company running, though, decreased by over $5 million, primarily by making cuts, and also thanks to revenue generated by Naples Wax. They sold off some investments. This cash mostly came from the sale of shares of stock that XWELL did in August of 2024. They sold more stock directly to some investors in August 2024, raising $1.4 million. XWELL doesn't have any weird off-balance sheet arrangements that could hide debt XWELL to